Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we have a new sneak peek number 4, and we have a new troop in Clash of Clans. In today's video I will explain to you guys how you can use this new troop. You can see it in a second, any second. Come on, small buddy, don't be shy. There he is, the new Headhunter in Clash of Clans. I will completely explain what he's doing since he's kinda complex, and how you guys exactly can use him. That's the goal of this video. So let's take a look at the Headhunter first, at his stats. He's dealing decent damage. He's attacking any target, like any ground or air, but his first target is always going to be the heroes. That's true. Normally always the heroes are the kings of the village, but not anymore because we have the Headhunter coming to town. So I will explain you, like I will show you guys in depth how he's working, and then how you guys can bring him over into your offense and defense. So let's take a look. First off, let's cook up the Headhunters in our really nice cool FC feature. And now let's take a look at this customized base so I can explain a little bit better to you. So first off, let's deploy a couple of Headhunters at the top so you guys can see they're completely ignoring everything except the enemy heroes. And now you can see as well why they are the Headhunters, because take a look at this poison. Take a look at this slow which they're providing on the enemy hero. The king wasn't even able to shoot or to hit. It was crazy. But let's take a second look at the enemy royal champion. So as soon as the Headhunter approach, they will attack the royal champion, give their poison, and take a look how often she's actually shooting. Once. The attack ratio decrease is insane, it's crazy. And one thing which is notable as well, the Warden is not counting as hero on defense. He's counting as defense, as a building, and not as a hero. So that's why they're ignoring him. And now, as soon as all of the heroes are dead, they are working kinda as a normal, archer. Obviously way stronger, but still as an archer, which can attack basically anything. And this for 6 troop space. Now you guys might wonder, Itsu, how exactly can we use this troop when they're so unique? Because that's, I think, the right word. They're kind of like ice golems, where it's really hard to use them in a battle, but if you can use them properly, it's a huge game changer. So now let's explain how you guys can use the Headhunter in Clash of Clans to make your attacks even crazier, even stronger, especially on turn 13. So, the first thing which you have to take a look at are kind of the unique things about him. Another thing which I haven't showed you guys yet is that he can jump walls. So, if you have walls somewhere and you think how should I reach the enemy heroes? Well, they will just jump over it, kind of like the Royal Champion. So, it's kind of cool. They will always reach the target which you're sending them for, but be careful, they have really low amount of HP. So they can die kind of quick if there are other defenses around as well. But that's another unique thing about them, and there are just so many unique things about them, and it's such a cool troop. But to be honest, they are already by far my favorite troop in the game, just already from the design. Don't you guys think so? Just the design of the troop, the visual effects are by far the coolest in the game. Just imagine Headhunter skins for the heroes. That would be so cool. That would be so damn cool. But now let's get into it, how you guys can use them on offense, for example. So what we're doing for this, we're cooking some healers and make a queen charge and use them kind of as support troop. Because one thing which I want already to get rid of the way is they're not a spam troop. If you guys were hoping for another Yeti, that's not the case on this one. They're really strategic and you have to use your brain to get them to work. Now let's take a look, and no, they're not only useful for queen charges. If you guys are already going ham, they're going to be useful for other things as well. Just take a look. As soon as the queen is encountering the enemy king, we're sending in only one. This is 6 troop space, 1 Headhunter in as well, which is providing the poison effect. And just take a look at how much health our queen still has. She's approaching the enemy warden with basically full health. So let's try the same entry without the Headhunter and see how much of a big difference this is going to be. Or is this actually a big difference? Is this new troop kind of useless? Let's see. We're doing the exact same thing. We won't use any spells. We will just use our queen with the healers. That's it. Nothing more. So the queen is going for the town hall. So far, no HP lost. So far, so good. This was the point where we added the Headhunter the last time, and this time we're not doing anything. We just let our queen go her way. And take a look. The king is beating her down, so she even has to use her ability. And that's the difference. Now let's take a look. She's approaching the warden, and the difference is not only she's really low HP, she had to use her ability as well. And now let's take a look at the Headhunters on defense. Well, the queen died in her ability. That's crazy. So the Headhunters on defense are insanely strong because they're dealing so much damage and they can burst enemy heroes so quickly. Just take a look at this king. The king has over 10,000 hit points already with level 75, and in addition to that, he's healing. So that's pretty crazy. Now let's take a look at the queen chart, for example, and one thing which I have to admit, I dropped the rage kind of late. So I think normally, if you're quick enough, you can get away without the queen ability, but still, Headhunters on defense are crazy. They're nuts. And they're attacking, always remember that, anything as soon as the heroes are down. So if there's no hero on the battlefield, then they would just attack ground, air, whatever they're getting into, and that's pretty strong. So let's talk about the next use case for the Headhunters. On this one, we have a lot of under 3-star bases right now with the heroes on the outside. And there's a really easy option for you just to use 1 or 2 Headhunters to support your heroes to take down the enemy heroes so they're doing way less damage. If you guys are right now wondering or like thinking, Itsu, come on, really? Like only Sui attacks and like this is under 3-star base and only attack under 2-star bases? I don't even care. In a second, right after this attack, I will show you guys how to completely demolish those bases with the heroes. You guys know it. Town on the top side, or like left, whatever side, really far on the outside, and then in front of the town hall, there are the heroes. Bases like this are like a gifted 3-star as soon as you know how to use the Headhunters. So make sure to stay tuned for that, because that attack is going to be happening right after this one. But for now, if you have those heroes on the outside, you can really easily support the heroes, or your own heroes, with 1 to 2 Headhunters. And once again, I want to highlight this so many times before a couple of people having wrong expectations. This troop is super strategic and it's not a spam troop. It's really similar to an Ice Golem, where you have like some cases, or like, I think Ice not really that good of a comparison, because the Ice Golem is really only useful sometimes and the Headhunter is nearly always useful. It's like nearly always useful, like kind of always. So, but, and that's a big but at this point, is that you can't use this troop at mass. Like 1 or 2 Headhunters each attack, that's useful. Bringing away more, not that useful anymore. So this troop is like a Wallbreaker maybe. Wallbreaker super strong, but you do not want to do mass Wallbreaker attack, right? Like that would be kind of useless. So this is all about the new troop, that it's really strategic. It's not a brain dead troop or you just spam some troops of them in and that's it. It's really strategic, but really strong. Don't get me wrong at this point. They're not like a weak troop, whatever. They're crazy strong if they're used correctly. They're only 6 troop space, so that's huge. It's crazy how much value they can get for only 6 troop space. In addition to that, they're useful on defense as well. And that's something which is, yeah, making queen charge and other attacks really, really hard to execute if you have like the Headhunter on defense, if you have like Inferno Dragon on defense. There's so many new true possibilities right now. So yeah, this time we're doing queen charge on anti-2-star base with the heroes on the top side. We're having once again to face those I don't know why I always say Royal Champions, but I want to say those Headhunters on defense. This time we used the rage early enough to make sure that we do not have to use our green ability. So far everything is looking really good. Now you guys are wondering maybe, you already used rage. How do you want to encounter all of those things without having to spend too many spells? Normally without the Headhunter for a base like this, you need tons of rages, tons of freezes, and the queen ability. On this one, we're just adding one lonely, one small, one tiny Headhunter into the mix. We're adding another Headhunter, which is 12 troop space, and saving a rage, a freeze, crazy lot of value, and we're taking both enemy heroes down without having to spend any of this. This is crazy because this rage would have been completely wasted, only for the enemy heroes without having too much follow-up damage. But now, let's keep watching the attack. And if you guys are saying, hey, I don't like the Queen Charge Lalo, you could do this with Queen Charge Hybrid, for example, as well. There's no difference. But now, Queen is getting rotated in, so we have to use one freeze. Now we would have not used the freeze, but we have to on this end, otherwise we would have lost our healers. And now we let the Queen kind of walk in between of the two sides, get the Queen back onto the other side, and then as soon as that's happening, just rage her one more time. And on this charge, we use one freeze, we use 3 rages. Without the Headhunter, and I won't show you this again, you just have to trust me on this one, but without the Headhunter, we would have needed to use Queen ability at least, and at least one more freeze. And that's way much more. Like, just imagine you would have not had the Queen ability anymore, you would have had to use at least one more spell. That's a huge change, and this only for 6 to 12 troop space. This is crazy. Now the Lalo's coming in, and like I said, you could have done the exact same thing with having the siege barracks going around the 6 o'clock side, or like the 3 to 6 o'clock side, and then in between the hybrid. This would have worked totally the same, but I just want to do Lalo because take a look at this Warden. He's perfectly following the troops. That's so nice to see. And yeah, guys, that's it. That's a new Headhunter troop into the game. I think for me already, it's my favorite troop in the game because just the design is so cool looking. I just fell in love with this troop. And I think it's always, like, you can always have one Headhunter in your army because it's so effective against those enemy heroes. Either way, guys, let me know what you think of the new Headhunter. Do you like it that it's more of a strategic troop, or you don't like it because you wanted to add another Yeti into the game? Let me guys know what you guys think. Let me down below in the comments so we can discuss this a little bit further. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow. Until then, see ya and bye bye.